Hello.
Hey, Alice. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Can you hear me, Alice?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to see why I don't see us on the screen.
Yeah, I think StreamYard is tripping today.
They must be because I don't see us at all.
Oh, you don't? Did you bring
I
us up
can
to the
I can see
stage?
you, but it only says remove. It doesn't say.
So, mm,
So
maybe
Precious says she
remove your
hears us.
thumbnail.
To remove the thumbnail.
Yeah, take the thumbnail down. Maybe you can see us then. Okay,
Okay,
Precious. Precious says
maybe
she can
that's
see
it.
both of us.
She says she can see us.
Uh-huh. Yeah, maybe take the thumbnail down and see if that'll work.
Maybe that's what it is.
There we are.
Oh, glad we don't have many people in here.
Oh, it's
Okay.
okay. Mistakes happen.
Yeah. Yeah. So how you doing today? Hey, Precious.
Well, I'm hanging in there. I'm just doing,
Okay.
trying to
All right.
take care of business and, really, I ain't got no complaints. I don't have no complaints.
Okay, that's
How
good.
about you?
I'm same. I
Yeah.
have no complaints.
Yeah. It's hump day. What can we say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Just trying to get through the week, child.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like I got no important engagements or anything, but
Right.
still. Not that I want any either.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't even want no important engagement, so I'm good with it all. So, but yeah. So let me just say, child, I'm fine. No complaints at all.
Yeah. I'm same. Same.
Right,
No
right,
complaints.
yeah.
So I was trying to wait for a few more people to get in, but did you want to go ahead and get started, or you want to chit chat until a few more people get in?
Well, it's your thing. Do your thing. It's your thing. You can do what you want to do.
You can't tell me who to suck it to.
Uh-uh. Not at all. I ain't gonna even try.
Okay. All right. So
I do
since
have a
you,
complaint. I do have one
oh,
complaint.
okay, okay, go ahead.
My one complaint is I don't know what's going on with my business partner, but I am trying to get this show back on the road.
Uh huh.
And every time I turn around, there's something going on where I can't get this show on the road for our other channel, for our women's empowerment channel. The
Well, we
women
gonna
gonna
have
be in
to
therapy by the time we get back to encourage them.
instead of instead of y'all getting cash apps, people gonna have to spend their money on therapy.
Yeah, yeah. At this point, we
Boy.
can't even ask for a cash app. We ain't did but 2 shows, 2 or 3 shows. We ain't even eligible to get no cash app at this point in my point of view. But yeah, I just want to get that back on track because it's very easy to forget about something. And even with my other political channel that I'm affiliated with, I'm waiting on them to get that
Mm-hmm.
back on track. And I'm like, I'm tired of collaborating with people because I'm a doer. You know how I am. If you say
Uh
you're
huh.
gonna do something, let's do it. And
Right.
so I don't
Right.
like all of this starting stuff and not finishing it up. That's not how I operate.
Yeah. I was looking. Actually, I kept going and looking to see if y'all had scheduled a live for
Right.
today. Maybe I missed something. I did it at least 3 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was looking forward to it
Yeah.
today. We're gonna have
And
to
and
get
my
young
business
Vaughn in
partner was
order.
on her lot. She was on her channel. And
Oh.
uh and then I heard her voice going out, and I'm like, man,
Oh yeah, that's right. She did. Her voice was going out.
yeah, yeah. And I'm like, you should have
Yesterday.
went live. You should have saved that voice for our channel.
Huh? She knew about the show before she. using that voice.
Yeah, so I got a bone to pick with her when I finish talking. When we get through doing this political show, we got some bone to
Uh-huh.
pick.
The good thing is if she has no voice, you can just have let her have it and she can't really respond.
You right about that. I ain't think about that. I'm pretty sure she'll must up some voice for that though.
Uh, but meanwhile, you let her have it as much as you can.
Oh, I am, cause I'm ready to get back on track.
Yeah. So since nobody's really saying anything yet, but thank you, Precious Chief, for being in the chat, for supporting the channel, and for being an excellent moderator.
Yeah, let me share this on my page.
Yeah, I put it so that you should be able to um
Yeah.
go live on your page.
Well, no, I don't want to do that, but I want to share. I want to share so that they can come,
Okay.
so people can come to so they'll know I'm doing something. Since we
Okay.
ain't doing, since I'm not doing the other one, but I plan to go
Uh-huh.
live tonight too, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my husband is officially retired, so
Yeah. How's that working out?
today was his first day.
Oh, okay.
So,
Uh huh.
it,
It's all
it's,
right for right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah. It's in the beginning stages. In
uh-huh.
the new stage. But
Yeah.
hopefully he can find something to do.
Yeah. I think he might do something part-time because our insurance is going to skyrocket.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, because
that
I don't know a lot about that. Because the way that I get my insurance is totally different from the way that he's probably gonna the way that you guys probably get your insurance because mine's is with disability, so which it qualifies me for Social Security.
yeah, he's getting it through his job, but
Uh huh.
it's a difference between working and being retired.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Big, a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion,
Huge.
they let us work all these years and then they rip us off when we get through working. In my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah. So, it'll be all right. I know it'll work out.
Yeah,
'Cause
it will, and all of it is gonna work out. So many people are afraid of what's going on right now, and really that's the whole point of it all. They want everybody to be afraid,
Uh-huh.
and because fear is part of the tactic
Yeah,
and it's part of the
definitely.
game plan. Because if you fearful to do things, then you may not do what you may not operate and navigate the way that you normally do. And I just looked up on. I actually forgot about that it was time to vote in my city, and I
Mhm.
happened to go to the store yesterday because I had to do a fax. And then I wanted some chicken because I love the way the grocery store cook chicken. And the
Uh-huh.
man told me the pieces that I want, I can only eat white meat chicken. I can't eat dark meat. I don't like the twang taste to it. So he said
Mm.
it'll be 11 minutes. And I noticed that they were voting. I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to go over here and go early vote. And I hadn't even looked at what was going to be on the ballot or whatever. And thank God it was just a bunch of referendums.
Okay.
And the way that they had those referendums, they're trying to catch people up and trying to use word salad so that you wouldn't know what you're actually voting for. So one of them was about school taxes, and did you want to increase the homestead to pay from 100,000 to 140,000? And I said no, because what you want to do, in my opinion, this is just a smoking screen so that you can fund private school. That's the way I
Right.
view that. And so
Mhm.
they're not telling you what it is, but they try to, but they're giving you an idea of what it is to make it look like that they're gonna fund the schools. But in
Uh-huh.
actuality, I wholeheartedly feel that extra money is gonna go to the private schools for the private school vouchers that Texas is trying to implement.
Right. And those parents already have the money to send their children to school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I poor and our kids just won't, they'll just won't have anything, no kind of funding for their public schools. Meanwhile, you're helping rich people send their kids to private school. I think not.
Right, right. Always looking out for the rich. So Precious says she's been retired from the military since 2015. But you know me, I still have my little meal prep hustle. Always got to hustle. And she said, yeah, she said, that's what they want for us to miss the in between voting.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I knew every state had something to vote on. Most states are voting. They have something to vote on for this year. And if you're not electing somebody that's like a special election, then they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have referendums for your city to vote on, because the legislator in the states, they always have bills that they like to introduce, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times they can't implement those bills unless they get permission from the public. So basically, that's
Right.
what everybody's going to be voting on. If you're not going to be doing a special election for a candidate, then you're going to be voting for referendums.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, the way they have that word salad with those referendums, all of them are so hard to decipher.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why I always look stuff up beforehand because they will put a bunch of stuff in there.
yeah,
Um
and
and
it's
it'll
word
make
salad.
you, yeah. And sometimes it's like when you're taking a test,
Hmm.
um
That's what I
and
felt
they
like.
reword stuff. Uh-huh.
I felt like I was taking a test, and it's never taken me 10 or 15 minutes to vote, but I sat there and I read it from word to word and kept rereading it and kept going over it before I made a decision. I wanted to make sure that I fully understand it, and I kind of like uh took the, like the way that they had the taxation and little words that go before the
Mm-hmm.
taxation or what have you. So I made sure that I could decipher what they really was trying to say. And so I
Right.
I took some of the words that they put in front of taxation and just read it as for the parts that I because a lot of the words that they use is kind of like legal jargon,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I had to take that part of it out in order to decipher what they were really trying to do.
Hmm.
And I just hadn't paid attention to the referendums that they had going on for the city. I neglected to do that. But at least I
Uh-huh.
voted, and I tried to vote to the best of my interests. That I felt like I voted for the best of my interests.
Right. Right. So a lot of people put so much focus on presidential election, and every 4 years we go through the same thing when people don't vote. Hey, my peer, how are you? Yeah, and then people don't pay attention to these local elections and voting for Congress and everything. And then when stuff hits the fan, then they want to know what happened. So we need to take, voting more serious than I think we take it. You still there? Are you on mute?
Yeah, I put it on mute. I didn't know I
Oh,
did that. I like to be on mute when you guys come up. Um, but I think people need to take politics more serious this day and time. We've always should
yeah.
have been paying attention to it, but I
Uh-huh.
also feel like that people need to pay more attention now because of the serious things that's going on, and a lot of this stuff is being implemented nationally, but it's
Mm-hmm.
affecting you locally.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Vaughn.
Let me make sure I do something real quick.
Okay.
But go ahead. I'm here.
Oh, it's no problem. And SBK, can you share this out on your page so we can try to get some people in the audience? Vaughn, can you share it on your page so we can remind everybody that Alice is doing a political show, because I feel like people need to be informed.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vaughn. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaughn.
But yeah, with the things that's going on today, although they're doing them nationally, of unfortunately, and normally nationally don't really hit you like that, because you
Mm-hmm.
have your governors that's gonna, implement the funds the way that they're supposed to, and now we're in well, not strange times, but we're in unprecedented times, and we're
Thanks,
in
SBK.
we're
Mm-hmm.
in an era where we've never been before. And in my opinion, we're really in a constitutional crisis, and people don't really
We are.
realize that we're in a constitutional crisis.
We are.
Yeah.
Especially with him taking the power of the purse from Congress. And what really gets me is him destroying the White House.
I know, and people are upset about that too, because that's really the people's house. It's not his house to make a change.
Right.
And I thought Congress had to vote on whether or not he could make that change
Yeah.
to the people's house.
Yeah. He tells them what to do. They don't tell him. I don't know what they're afraid of, but for some reason they're afraid of this demented old man.
Their base. And he act like the Godfather.
Uh huh. Yeah. I mean, he is just destroying the White House. And does he realize he's living in public housing?
Yeah, I don't think he got Section 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
He really
He's
don't
like,
realize that he actually has
yeah.
Section 8. Well, it's not even Section 8. Well, I guess some people on Section 8 don't have to pay because I know some people have
Uh-huh.
paid like
Based on
$5
income.
based on their income.
Yeah.
But baby, basically, yeah, he's living in public housing
Uh-huh. And you're not supposed to do anything to public housing without permission.
without permission. Yeah, yeah. And so the thing is, the reason why the Congress is afraid of him, because if they, in my opinion, and allegedly, if they don't do what he say do, then he actually threatened them. Because haven't you seen it on the news where people say they've been threatened and
Yeah.
intimidated, and
Mm-hmm.
he goes the mob style, and he did that the
Yeah.
first time, and they all, they put him in office, and now, everybody is crying. Have you been watching C-SPAN on the weekends when people call in, and Mike Johnson's been up there, and a few of the other congressmen, and those people on
Mm-mm.
C-SPAN is tearing him up.
Oh, Precious says he's allegedly threatening people's families.
Yeah, he's doing all of that. He's
Yeah,
even
going after
threatening
his
the everyday
political
public.
rivals. Yeah. And supposedly he's supposed to be having a private message with Pam Bondi and since this thought out on Truth Social to go after Comey and James and some others that he doesn't like. It's just pitiful. I thought I thought they said that Republican men had backbones, but
Mm,
um
not when it
I
comes
think
not when it comes to the granddaddy Godfather. They don't.
yeah, I it's a bunch of miracles walking around. Men walking around standing up straight with no backbone.
Hmm. And
So
I'm used to a
yeah,
man's man. I ain't used to
right,
these little wimps.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
SBK. Comey was indicted, and so was Letitia James.
yeah. And then you're going after TV hosts, you're going after newscasters, anybody that oppose him and say anything
Right,
against him. He act like we don't have free speech in America.
right. And also what was I about to say? He is trying to sue the Justice Department,
Yeah,
get $230 million.
I thought it was 306. Was it 230 or 60?
230.
230. Yeah. Now,
Uh-huh.
and I meant to look that up to see if he actually could sue um the attorney general office. Uh,
Right.
I was
He can't
wondering.
do anything with Obama, SBK, because because of him, the
Yeah,
Supreme Court determined that president has immunity from
mhm,
prosecution.
as long as they're
So,
doing their job.
right.
Now he can
So
go
it's
after
nothing he can do.
Michelle, but he can't go after Obama. And Michelle
Yeah, he
wasn't
can
doing nothing.
try.
And
Mm-hmm.
All Michelle did was a garden and try to
Right.
implement nutrition in the schoolhouse. So if he want to go after that, then good luck with that. And
Hmm.
so the good thing about everything is he have a bunch of incompetent people in office. They
Right.
don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to dot the I's. They don't know how to cross the T's because most of these people that's in office has never been in government before
Mm-hmm.
and they're too lazy to look it up. And they fired all the experienced people.
Right.
So so that's the best part about it. That's the best part
Right.
about a lot of this.
Precious said, of course, he hates nutrition. He lives off Big Macs and Diet Coke. That's true. And then he got RFK Jr. Um, as head of Health and Human Services, and he said that he had a brain worm. Hey, Abril, how are you? Thanks for coming. So you there? I said what I said.
I am. I'm looking up this mess.
Oh, okay.
So, according to ChatGPT,
Uh huh.
says a president, including Donald Trump, can file a lawsuit against an attorney general for or a prosecutor. Such lawsuits almost never succeed because the prosecutors and attorney generals have absolute immunity from actions taken from their official duties. So, such a filing indictment or pursuing criminal charges. And so, in short, he could try to sue the attorney general, but the
Mm-hmm.
court would almost certainly dismiss it under prosecutorial immunity, and his legal team only real path to challenge the indictment is through motions in the criminal cases, not a separate civil lawsuit.
Hmm.
So he can go down that rabbit hole if he want, and it'll all be just like everything else is. It's all for show. Hey,
Right.
Labril, it's all for show. And
Yeah. Doing
basically,
good, Abril.
that's how he's operating. Everything is for show.
Uh huh. But what he's trying to also do is he's trying to, you know how he'll sue somebody and then he'll settle. So what he's trying to do is,
Yeah.
Pam Bondi would go along with him. So he's trying to
Yeah, but it's
get.
not Pam Bundy's decision because he's going to try to sue Merrick Garland, remember? Because Merrick Garland was in office and Comey was in office when Obama was there and Garland was in there when Biden was in there. So he's going to he's going to have to try to go after Comey and he's going to have to try to go after Merrick Garland, which they have immunity. So it's still not going to go anywhere. She can go along with it if she want to,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
the
he's gonna
courts,
try it.
yeah, but the,
He's
the
gonna
the
try it.
federal courts and the Supreme Court is the one who got to make that ultimate decision. Which I really wish Biden, when he the first 2 years, I really wished he would have revised the Supreme Court, and we wouldn't be having this issue right now
Thank you.
because they're not on our side right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I believe Clarence Thomas is foolish enough to ban interracial marriage.
Why? Because he want to get a divorce and he want to just make it illegal. So cause he don't want his wife no more, he want to make that illegal so he can get away from her. Because that's the only thing I can see why he would do that.
Well, I say I don't want to use the S word. The S word is stupid, y'all. I say that because, hey, Mimi, thank you for joining. Because he goes along with anything, like, you know how he knows the majority of the people are against something,
Hmm.
he'll go push toward, for that.
Well, the one thing I'm afraid of is, remember Alito said he wanted to retire, but he didn't want Biden to appoint another
Mm-hmm.
justice. So I'm looking for Alito to go ahead and retire. I'm afraid he probably will retire so that Trump can go ahead and appoint another Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, he probably will. That was
Mhm.
another reason why I was trying to push people not to put the village idiot in office.
Well, at the end of the day, um, all the elections that's done happened so far, Democrats are just cleaning house everywhere except for Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And I wholeheartedly feel like they're going to have, I think, the next presidential election, and I think the next couple of Congresses, it's going to take the Republicans a minute to recuperate from this big, ugly bill that they
Mm-hmm.
voted for. And it's going to take them a minute to recuperate from the pain that they're implementing on the public. So I wholeheartedly feel like they're not going to be in charge too much longer. And I don't think they're going to be in charge for a minute. So the Democrats will have an opportunity to revise some laws.
Uh-huh.
The next president will be able to undo everything that he's doing, because he's not passing laws. He's just doing executive orders, which the next president can just undo all of that mess that he's doing and try
Right.
to fix the country back as much as possible. If
Right.
it's the country left to fix back.
Uh-huh. But yeah, he's doing a lot of intimidating people. Um, I think what he's really wants to do is to try to get people to stay home and not go out to vote,
Hmm. Yeah.
because he's sending all of these agents, federal agents, ICE agents, and National Guard to the Democratic areas,
Hmm.
so that people will be intimidated and won't want to go out and vote. So I
Hmm.
think that's another tactic for
Yeah.
them to try to steal elections.
Hmm. That's really part of the plan, and that's why, like you said, it's all this is a test right now to see how far he can go with this.
Mm-hmm.
But these federal judges are holding the line, though.
Mm-hmm.
The federal judges are holding the line, and look like the military, the generals in the military look like they're going to hold the line. I don't think he's going to be able to do what he want to do.
Yeah, you know what? Um, Gavin Newsom did.
Mhm.
Um, he said he was going to have the National Guard come into California, but what he wants to do is use them to help feed people who losing their jobs and
Mhm.
um, stuff like that.
Mm.
So
Do
he
community
said he,
service.
yeah. So he said that's what he wants to use them for. So um, I don't think Trump can do anything about him using the guards in that way.
Mm.
Hello, Tom C. Welcome.
Mhm. Hey, Mimi.
Yeah, he SBK said he's aiming for a third term.
Yeah, he
SBK.
is. Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something, and I keep telling people this. And this man, I believe with everything in me that he has dementia. I know the signs of dementia, and he's displaying them all. And I do not believe that he is going to last for this whole term. So when you're talking about a third term, I don't see it happening.
Well,
That's just
child,
me.
the Lord coming to get everybody else except for him. I'll be glad when when his midnight hour come. And
Well,
I know you ain't supposed to wish that on nobody, but I actually wish that on him, for real, for real.
yeah, but I'm not going to comment on that on a live.
Well, I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm sorry, y'all, but it is what it is. I just have to ask God to forgive me, and let me clarify that, not the Lord Lucifer, because the Lord probably
Yeah,
don't have
because
nothing to
he,
do with him.
yeah, the
I
Lord
need
ain't got nothing to do
Lucifer.
with him.
Yeah, Lucifer need to come get his son.
Yeah. Precious said, I really feel the VP is waiting in wings to take over. He is.
And he is, yeah, he can't
He
wait.
is.
And he's already said it several times, Precious, that
Uh huh.
he was ready yesterday to be in office. Yeah, so he's made the statement and he is ready.
Yeah. Oh, Tom said he's from the UK.
And he
Well,
won't say
welcome.
nothing. Yeah, please, Tom, because he do he very petty, child, and he will come
Yeah.
after an American citizen, like
Uh
we
huh.
neighbors or something. He's fighting with
But we
with
see
the
you,
Sisler
Tom.
guy. You see the guy he fighting with the news on news channels? The news guy. Uh
Who?
what is this little guy name? His last name is Sisler. And he's just a
Oh, you
YouTuber.
talking about
Yeah, he's
you
just a
said
YouTube.
Sisler?
Is his name
Oh,
Tom
Harry
Sisler?
Sisson. Harry
Harry,
Sisson.
yeah, Harry Sisler. He fighting with him.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so, and why?
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
And
get that.
he can't stand the late night comedians, and they still turn him
Oh
up.
yeah. And
Stephen
so he's the
Colbert,
first president. Yeah. He's not the first president they've made fun of.
they
They've
make
made
fun of
fun of
all
all the
presidents.
presidents.
Yeah. And he ain't stopping
SBK
Saturday
said,
Night Live either.
yeah, they are funny this year. SBK says, I believe that the mentor or not, he has always been an idiot. And true. I
I
agree.
concur. I concur, SBK.
Hmm.
I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. But at the end of the day, I know Jeffro JD Vance is that JD stand,
Jethro.
yeah, that J stands for Jeffro Vance. I know
Uh-huh.
he's waiting to be the president or what have you. Hey,
Uh-huh.
wellness,
Hey
but I don't know if
Wanda.
that's going to be a good idea or not because he's way smarter than Trump.
Yeah, but I think that he could switch on you because he was the first one to
Denounce him.
compare him to um Hitler.
Hmm.
So he can flip any minute. So you never know with him.
And he said he was a never Trumper too when he was running for
Uh-huh.
Congress.
He said uh-huh.
Yeah, so all of them switched though. All of them talked about him. Everybody has talked about him, and then they all
Right.
fell in line.
Right.
So
So I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
But Vance helped implement help write up that project 2025 though.
Yeah.
So that's why come I don't really want him to be in
He's too
charge of nothing.
sneaky. He's too
Yeah,
sneaky.
yeah, you can't
You can't
trust him.
really trust him.
Well, you ready to start?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You let me pull up these clips. And
Okay.
what you want to start with? The first one, or you wanna which one you want to start with?
Um, let's look on the list and see
Okay,
what I
I prefer to start with George Santos, but
okay, you can do that.
yeah. So let me
Georgie Porgy.
yeah, Georgie Porgy. Let me go on mute for a sec.
Okay.
Okay, so let me bring it up. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, you got to add it to the screen.
Okay. I got you.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
President Trump surprised a lot of people on Friday when he commuted the sentence of former Congressman George Santos. Santos was 3 months into a 7-year sentence for wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Here with me now is former Congressman George Santos. Thank you so much for being here. First, tell us about the conversation that you had with President Trump after he commuted your sentence.
Thank you for having me, Dana. So, look, as far as having the conversation and its nature, I'll just leave it at the president was very kind, and it was a humbling experience to have the privilege of speaking to a sitting president of the United States. Where I come from, that's just not something that happens, and it's not normal for my family and I. So I'll leave the contents of the conversation private.
It's also not normal for a president to commute the sentence of somebody like you who pled guilty to the crimes that you did. So were you surprised that this happened? Did you expect the commutation?
I had no expectations. I wasn't even aware until I learned it off of the chyron of mainstream media inside of the prison myself. I had just been released from segregated isolation after 41 days for absolute no valid reason other than retaliatory warden.
So
But,
sorry, I just wanted.
I learned it from the TV.
Yeah, so I mean, that's incredible. You were standing in prison, you looked up at television, and that's where you saw that your sentence was commuted?
More like I didn't see it. Other inmates saw it and called me over to see it. I was not in the room at the time. And then I made my way to see it. I called my family and they told me it had happened. But I was not aware. It was a surprise.
I want to just read to you something that your fellow New York Republican, the Congressman Nick Lalotta, tweeted after he saw that your sentence was commuted. He said, George Santos didn't merely lie, he stole millions, defrauded an election, and his crimes, for which he pled guilty, warrant more than a 3-month sentence. He should devote the rest of his life to demonstrating remorse and making restitution to those he wronged. Another New York Republican, Congressman Andrew Garbarino, who is part of the ethics committee, at least he was when they were investigating you, said your victims haven't been made whole and that, quote, he has shown no remorse. The less than 3 months that he spent in prison is not justice. What's your response?
Look, they're entitled to their opinion. Look, Dana, this isn't about tit for tat. It's not about revenge. It's not about retribution. It's obvious they are my critics, and they have the right to do that. And they have the right to say whatever they're saying. I'm not going to sit here and go on my former colleagues, Lalotta and Garbarino. It's just, that's not what it's about. For me, I'm looking at this very simply, Dana. I'm going to look to the future. I've learned a great deal and a very large slice of humble pie, if not the entire pie, for the experience I had at FCI Ferriton under the care of Warden Kelly. But I will say that this isn't about that. I don't want to rehash and go into these things. Life is too short. I have been granted a second chance. I have made a very concise decision to apply that for good and use that to make amends with my community, with my friends, with my family, and those who I have left a sour taste in their mouth. And hopefully one day get my critics to at least appreciate that I've turned around and done better with my life. This isn't about, glitter, stars, and glam or going back to Congress. So it's really not.
Oh, George Santos is trying to use a word salad. Oh, the chirons of the news and the warden is just against me. But he sound very humble. What you think, Alice? He sound like that 3 month stint was not a nice stint for him. I don't think he enjoyed the place that he was at, and he act like he's very humble that his boy let him out. What you think?
Girl, I don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. Everything he says, I'm skeptical about it. Because the man lies so much out between him and his dear leader. I don't know which one is the worst liar.
Well, he's trying to sound all diplomatic, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Like he got arrested for no reason at all, in my opinion. Like he didn't do
yeah,
nothing.
if he had gotten arrested for no reason, why did he plead guilty?
Right.
So and
Yeah,
his
you heard
his
what he
his
said. You heard what he said when they say he ought to try to pay that restitution back. Oh,
yeah.
oh, they all entitled to their opinion. I bet you do feel that way, sir. But you ain't said nothing about it. Yeah, I do need to pay the people back. I'm sorry. I was in, because he could have just apologized and said he was in a bad place, and
Uh-huh.
he didn't know where to turn, and so he did some things that was on life. He did some things that you know wasn't good in the eyesight of the American public, and that he apologized and that he's sorry. He don't sound like he's remorseful to me. I don't hear no remorse.
Right. He
Do you?
doesn't he doesn't sound remorseful at all.
Mm.
And he know good and well, if even if he tried to pay back what he stole, that he was still to pay it back.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't think he gonna be so quick to have sticky fingers though, based on where he just came from. Though he may have to get a job, to try to pay people back. But I don't. You think he will still try to do some criminality to pay people back?
I think so. Because I think
Oh
he
wow.
thinks he's slick. I mean,
Uh
this man lied and got into Congress.
huh. He sure did. He deceived people.
So I don't put anything past him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, George, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, dog, but Alice say no.
Not at all.
This is a very personal journey and road for me ahead. It is not going to be easy. I am still a felon. I still wear the scorn of my poor choices and my poor decisions, and I have to fight that myself. Now, if you want to talk about my sentence, look, I argue there were three there were three defendants in my case, myself, my treasurer, and a former staffer. My treasurer gets a 3-year probation sentence, which is appropriate for a first-time nonviolent white-collar crime. I get a 7-year disproportionate sentence that is anything but political if you talk to anybody who really looks at these kind of cases. And then you look at my staffer, who's still sitting in FCI Ferriton, which is Sam Mealy, unfairly. So you really need to take this and see what's equitable here. So I still think for it to be equitable, Sam Mealy should have a commutation afforded to him. And I think that probation would have been the appropriate sentence from the get, restitution, probation. And now I don't make those decisions. I'm very grateful to President Trump, Dana. And I sit here quite literally. I don't know how much more humbled I can get before people believe I'm humble or remorseful, but I can just do the best in my actions moving forward.
You were ordered by the court to pay $370,000 in restitution to the people you defrauded. Will you still pay that back?
Well, if you really say the people, I just want to be clear with your audience so that we're not misleading them. 85% of that really goes into the investment made into my campaign for polling and TV ads and literature by the National Republican Congressional Committee. The investment was made to win a race. I won that race. There was no fraud there. This is a case we argued with the prosecution, but they needed to inflate the numbers in order to make it a more appealing case for them in federal court, instead of just going after the mishandling of finances, which, by the way, most members of Congress currently who are still serving in both parties who ever have had issues with FEC filings, they pay fines. Nobody actually goes to prison. So it's inequitable in its nature.
Well, this is about a fine. I mean, this is about paying money back. And whether you describe them as victims or just donors to the NRCC, what the court said is that they should get their money back. Will you work to try to do that?
Well, look, I can do my best to do whatever the law requires of me. So I don't know what that is. I've been out of prison for 2 days. I agreed to come.
In other words, he ain't paying the money back if he don't have to. What you think, Alice?
Yeah. He sees the victim and he shouldn't have to pay anything because, you know, poor Georgie, Porgy.
Well, what make him feel like he's a victim? To me, this is a victim mentality. And you defrauded
Mm-hmm.
the public, sir. You stole people credit card. You bought yourself clothes with they money.
Uh-huh.
You went to concerts. You did everything you wanted to do personally with their money, with the
The
people money.
most.
did the
Mm-hmm.
most with the money, and now you want to try to be a snitch and tell it on everybody else. And I don't, they not getting caught. They not getting charged or what have you. And right now, we got the vindictive in chief in office right
Uh-huh.
now, and he's not going after the Democrats for FEC filings. He's not saying that they did anything nefarious with their money. So if everybody is guilty of it, why isn't everybody being charged of it?
Right.
The people that was guilty, we did have a Democrat senator. Remember, he had the gold in his. Remember the senator that had the gold in his suit pocket. So he got charged. The people that's
Mm-hmm.
actually doing stuff, they're being charged. But the judge, you pleaded guilty. So how
Right.
are you saying that you wasn't charged correctly when you actually pled guilty, thinking that you were going to get a smaller sentence? And I don't understand. To me, it's trying to use a certain privilege, right? You're trying to use
Mm-hmm.
your lip, and really you don't have no privilege according to the to Agent Orange, because he's the one trying to send your cousin them back over the border
Uh-huh.
and everything. So technically you don't even have no face card privilege. But I feel like you're trying to use Congress as a face card privilege, right? You're trying to use that
Right.
as a privilege. And so you were wrong. You admitted that you were wrong, and now you want to say that you wasn't done justifiable. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, and if it was anybody else that got caught in this, I feel like they would have went to jail. I don't know any congressman that took people money, defrauded people, because everybody that defrauded the public, they went to jail. They didn't just get no fines. Do you know any examples of anybody that took the public's money and just got fined and didn't go to jail?
I can't think of any.
I can't think of any either. Not that I'm an expert in all of this, but
Right.
at the end of the day, off of the top of my head, and I follow politics pretty regularly, and
Mm-hmm.
can't remember everybody's name, and but I do remember some of their crimes, and I do know a lot of people did go to jail when they took the public's money, because that's a huge no. Everybody know about campaign finance. Everybody know that you don't defraud the public, and everybody know you don't just take people credit card and use it as you feel without having
Right.
some type of consequence. So in my mind, you're trying to be a victim.
But do you think that because his president um, had was found guilty of 34 felony counts and didn't go to jail one day, do you think that maybe he thinks um, he's on that level as well, and that
Yeah,
he should not have gone to jail or prison?
yeah. And in actuality, to his defense, most people that's going to jail now, look at the January 6th, all of them got commuted. And so it's a great time to be a criminal right now. I hate to say that,
Hmm.
but if you in a high power position and you're in jail, you got the right man to get you out, unfortunately, because that's what happens when you hire a criminal to run the country.
Right, but the one of the J6ers has gone back to jail
Yeah,
because he threatened to unalive Hakeem Jeffries.
right, right. And also, too, did you see where the judge is going to make Agent Orange pay that 350? What was it? 350 million that whatever, however many millions that
Uh huh.
that money
Hmm.
that Letitia James was seeking from him. A judge
Uh
say
huh.
he has to pay that yesterday.
Okay, I didn't even hear about that.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. The judge said he got to
Good.
pay it. Yeah, he made a
That's why
ruling.
he's trying to get 230 million
Uh
from
huh.
the Department of
Uh
Justice.
huh. Uh huh. Because he got to pay that money back to the
Uh
state of
huh.
New York. So
Good.
yeah, so some good is coming out of this, no matter what.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So, or did you want to go ahead and go to the next slide, or you want to continue to
Yeah,
listen to
let's
George
let's we
Sotos?
can go to the next
Yeah,
slide.
because I'm about tired of hearing his
Wait a
lies.
minute, let me read some of these comments though.
Okay, well, I'll just pull this down, and I'll get the
Okay.
next one ready. So when you get ready, we'll be ready.
Okay. So Precious said The village idiots didn't listen to him. He told them before he was elected he was going what he was going to do what he is doing right now, and he bullies Congress and the Senate, which is true. And then she says, my son works at the casino, and all those millionaires who voted for him say they regret it, especially the ones who had migrant workers. Yeah, that's what they weren't thinking. They thought we were going to come in and do those jobs, but the devil is a liar. She said, but with all these deportations, they may have, um, I guess, wake up call finally and realize they are still Latino and not Gingo. What? Gringos? I think I know what you mean. um,
Gringos, gringos.
I'm, I'm telling you, Bill, they fed up with him now down in Little Havana. Well, kind of late for that now. What I don't understand is that this guy is gay and the right hates his kind, but he is such a right wing propagandist. This makes no sense to me at all. Yeah, makes no sense.
And word on the curve is he think I don't know how true it is because um it's social media, but the word on the curve is he's thinking about commuting Diddy also.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So
I
um
don't know if that's just gossip or what, but we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah, we'll see. Because a lot of times the gossip normally, it's going around, and a lot of times, when you hear something, a lot of times it do come true
Hmm.
because a lot of people are reporting on it. Now, the first person I saw that put it out, I was like, he's a YouTuber, and sometimes he kind of fudged the truth, so I can't really believe
Uh-huh.
everything he say. But then I started seeing other people, and
Hmm.
even a reputable news one of the cable news pundits spewed it out there. So I was like, okay, well maybe it is, maybe it could be true.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, this is a
Um,
very leaky administration, so
yeah, very. Precious said he made sure he hit the tanning salon. Talking about Georgie. Um,
Georgie lost some weight too, Precious. Georgie ain't as thick as he was when he went in there, so I don't think he was in there
he
eating all that food either.
yeah, he wasn't eating that food. They weren't shipping him McDonald's. This dude knows he needs to serve his time. It's about your makeup is popping, tan is tanning, and you didn't learn nothing. Didn't learn a thing.
Well, according to SBK's logic, he was in there where he wanted, with all the, access. So I don't know why he did just stay up in there. It seemed like he would have had a
Right,
good time, in my opinion, and
right.
a big choice, a big variety of choices.
Maybe he was tired. You need to pay those victims. You are a millionaire, Georgette. He has money and he isn't broke. He isn't pale at all. He made sure his eyebrows are on fleek, eyeliner done, and nice tan. Okay, Georgette. Fighting not to wear a skirt, Georgette. You did the most. We are supposed to feel sorry for you. Ma'am, no.
Baby Precious reading him his rights, okay?
this
Precious
is the
is
last one.
reading him his rights, baby.
This is the last one. There is no you are still lying, Georgette. That's what Precious, she said what
Shout
she
out to
said.
Precious.
She said what she said. And she meant it.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
tell. Precious act like she my cousin. Precious, we cousins, girl. So the next one is about Agent Orange, your president,
Yeah,
and
not mine.
he says black women voted that's walking around in Chicago in MAGA hats, begging
Uh-huh.
him to stop crime.
Yeah. He said beautiful, beautiful black
Beautiful black
women.
women. Yeah.
Hmm.
I hate the way he say the word black too.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
You could tell he's struggling with it. He's struggling trying not to call us the other word. Okay.
Right. Hmm. I need to know who these beautiful black women are. Not mine, precious.
Okay. I didn't even realize that you hadn't brought it up on the stage yet.
It's not on. I don't see it.
Oh, I just I'm tripping. Hold on a sec. Let me share the
It's all
screen.
right.
My bad. Hold on a sec here. Let's
Okay.
do this.
Here we
Okay,
go.
now you can bring it up. It's up. Okay, so let me play it. Come on. Okay, here we go.
The people of Chicago are walking around with MAGA hats. You have women, beautiful black women, walking around with MAGA hats. Please let the president in, and we don't care how he does it. They're not interested in National Guard or Army, Navy. Bring them in. Marines, bring in the Marines. They just want the crime to stop.
Now, if I said to you, Chick-fil-A decided.
Sure, you're right.
Okay, so I
Um,
think we got some Chicago women in
yeah,
the chat. So you
yeah,
beautiful black women in Chicago, have y'all been writing to the president and calling in there, asking him to bring the Marines and the National Guard and anybody else he can bring, and y'all just don't care because y'all got so much crime going on? Can y'all put a one in the chat if y'all agree with what Agent Orange just spewed out?
yeah. Put a one in the chat if you agree, and put um 0 in the chat if you do not agree.
He really
Yeah,
needs to
speak
stop.
up. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Right.
Come on, Vaughn. We know you in Chi-Town.
And anybody close to Chi-Town.
Yeah.
And
Even if you in even if you
suburbs
in yeah,
or
the
the neighboring
suburbs
state or either the neighboring
or
state.
yeah.
Person say
Even if you're in Michigan.
right. That's just down the street. And so,
Indiana.
I want
Vaughn
to do
said
the I
Sheila.
want to do his people get tired of hearing the lies that he spew out and just the mistruths and the I won't even say they mistruths, they're just flat out lies. And
No, they don't get tired. They don't get tired of it.
he knows Governor Pritzker don't want the National Guard in Chicago. He actually sued him to keep the National Guard out of Chicago,
Hmm.
as did Gavin Newsom and any other governor that don't want the National Guard in their city. I don't know which state he's going to target next, but it doesn't look like he's doing any red states. It's all these blue states that he's
Uh-huh.
targeting.
Yeah, that's
And
what he's trying to do. He's trying
yeah,
to intimidate um Democrat voters.
yeah, and when we had that No Kings March this past weekend, he really wanted people to not be peaceful, and there was nothing that he could do. Even the agitators couldn't spark the crowds. And
Right.
I am so proud of everybody for not allowing them to intimidate them and to trigger them to try to retaliate against the agitators. They just kind of basically, push them on out the way or what have you,
Mm-hmm.
or made them lead the crowd or what have you, and then allowed them to stir up any trouble. But that's really what he wanted. And now they're lying and saying that the pictures that they're showing are from 2018 and 19 or what
Right.
have you. So they're doing everything. The Republicans are trying to do a great job to try to cover up any and everything that this guy does.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but for him to say that beautiful black women in Chicago um is wanting him to bring out the whatever type of force he want to bring out, that's just another tactic to try to get a reaction out of black people. And nothing he's
Mm-hmm.
doing is working, because black people just sitting at home eating their popcorn and just watching it. I know I am. I was in
Yeah.
Sam's last week, and it's guy, this clear guy was, I was in line, and he was like, "You sure got a lot of things in your basket?" I do, because I don't shop that often. So when I come, I'm out of everything, and I'm gonna stock up, and I won't be back for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And well, this coffee I bought, it was $35 last week. Now it's $75. Well, that's what you voted for, ain't it, sir?
Yeah. I bet he still bought it too.
Oh yeah, he still bought it, but he was complaining about it, and I'm thinking, don't complain to me. You got it anyway. You got it to spend. Go ahead and spend it.
Uh-huh.
And if it's too much, then don't use no Keurig. Use a regular coffee pot like I do, and get you some coffee that's grounded up that you can afford.
Right.
So I feel sorry. I don't feel no ways tired for you, or sorry, sir.
Yeah. I can't say, I consider myself as being an empath, empathic. And I like to see the good in people, and I really do have a heart for people. I feel bad for people sometimes, but I'm gonna let you know this right now. I have no sympathy, no empathy for anyone who participated in putting this man in office. And I really don't have any empathy or sympathy for those who were eligible to vote but decided to stay home. I have nothing for you all, nothing. Now, I still have that agape love for you, but when it comes to this, nope.
And I second that motion. I ain't got no sympathy for him. That's not even something that I even have to make a claim for, or none of that. Okay, because at the end of the day,
Uh-huh.
the 92% tried to explain to everybody what was going to happen, and people wasn't paying attention. They wasn't listening, and now we're getting what we get because of because of the actions that we did take or did not participate in. So you're
Right.
absolutely right. If you want change, then you got to be part of the change. And
Absolutely.
that's just straight up, and it is what it is. So
Absolutely.
the next clip, do you want to talk about Mike Johnson, or do you
Let me
want to talk
read
about
these,
James Comey?
wait a minute, let me read these two comments first.
Okay.
So Wanda says Trump is a lie and the truth is nowhere in him. A lot of my husband's family is in Chicago and no, they do not want him. We knew that, Wanda. We know he's a liar. The man lied over 30,000 times his first term. Precious said it doesn't work. I'm at home drinking my water and making people mad on news break, commenting every day. Okay. Vaughn says she's all cried out.
Right. Well, I didn't cry,
Me either.
but because I already knew, the state of America and how they feel about different things. So I expected him to win again, because people can't forget the past, and people want to be in charge of people. People want to have control of people, and just because they don't agree with you, they feel like their way is the right way, as if you don't have the right to feel the way that you want to feel. And
Right.
that's basically why we have what we have in office right today, because it's about other people wanting to control it, who wants to control your life instead of minding their own business and controlling their own lives.
Right. Absolutely.
So this is what we get when we let and also to, not to call anybody stupid or anything, but he's the one who put it out there. He like low educated voters.
Uh-huh.
That
That's
those
what he
words
said.
came out of his mouth. So
That's what he
he
said.
automatically understands that if you put people in office that don't I mean, if you um if you channel your energy to the people who don't really understand things, then you can pull the wool over their eyes and they
Mm-hmm.
won't see anything coming. And I don't understand why they didn't see it coming, because everybody, if nobody in America know anything else, because a lot of us are operating on the 8th grade education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that's statistically that's what's going on. And so if you don't know anything about politics, you should have common sense to know, if he did everything he did in office the first time, this is his second, and you give him a second run at it. It's all about being vindictive. He tried to be vindictive the first time he was in office. So I don't understand what they expected out of this guy. He
Right.
also, when he was on the campaign trail, he told you what he was going to do. He said immigration may get bloody. He said he was going to retaliate against his friends, and he's going to pay everybody back that tried to put him in jail the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He told us all of these things. It's nothing that he's doing now that he didn't already forewarn everybody about. And he told y'all he was going to put terrorists in office so that America can make all of this money. And by the way, where's all the tariff money yet?
Child, um, who knows?
Okay. Well, they're grilling Cash Patel right now for $1 billion from the Justice Department because some money coming up missing.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to have a lot of money coming up missing from all these departments, because he's draining every department that he can dry to do what he want to do.
Let me
Like,
tell you, anybody who can bankrupt a casino has no business near the government trying to run things.
right, right. And so they were so pressed when Obama was in office, so afraid that a woman could run of a woman running the country, they
Mm-hmm.
decided to put in a criminal. So
Right.
um all I can say to the American public now is just buckle down and get ready for the ride, and make sure you got some canned goods and some generators and anything for
Uh-huh.
survival. Make sure you got a survival kit in hand, and make sure you
Uh-huh.
have a plan, because I feel like we all gonna need one
Hmm.
because of who's running
Well,
the country. Not only is he incompetent, his administration, the whole administration is incompetent, in
right.
my humble opinion.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so, and it's really a disgrace how he done just made America trash again. Just made America trash. It's basically what he's done. I don't know how you can break a whole country in 9 months. That is just crazy to me. But he's been able to get it done.
Right.
So you want to talk about Johnson, Letitia James, or James Comey next?
Let's talk about let's talk about Tish.
Tish, Letitia.
Uh-huh.
Want to bring up you want to bring up a beautiful black woman, huh?
Yeah. Listen to what this look at what Vaughn said. If Hillary would have let Diane Keaton dress her, we wouldn't be going through this.
Right. If Hillary put a dress on and get out them pantsuits, we wouldn't be going through this.
God have mercy.
But not really. Hillary was doomed because of her husband, you know. And remember, Alice, do you remember the Monica Lewinsky story? How everybody just lost their crap?
I remember. Oh yeah,
Oh
I
my
remember.
God, they just lost it
Mm-hmm.
when Clinton did what he did. Yeah, well, got caught with what he did because he ain't really doing nothing new that a lot of people don't do
Right.
anyway. He just got caught with it. But they lost their marbles when that happened. And
Uh-huh.
now look what they're
But
allowing to happen.
they got him, the idiot in chief screwing America, and they don't have a problem with it.
Oh, they have no problem with this guy doing anything that he want to do, and nobody is saying a word. And not even a lot of the Democrats. And the Democrats are not saying anything, in my opinion,
Right.
because APAC, they got APAC in their back pocket. And so in my opinion, they're allowing this stuff to happen, to some of this stuff to happen. It's like they want it to happen because, it's like they can't wait to get their little grimy hands back in power too.
Mm-hmm.
So I got problems with them also. So
Yeah. Let me bring this up.
okay, so let me turn it on for you. But
Okay.
yeah, I got problems with the Democrats too. I think they can do a little bit better than what they do.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
they can fight harder than what they're fighting. And
They too polite.
yeah, too politically correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what they try to go on and that's why come a lot of the Republicans don't like the Democrats because they're too educated. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times, a lot of people, when they get educated, they forget where they come from and they can't be down to earth no more. They forgot, that they was raised on beans and cornbread
Yeah. Yeah.
and squirrel soup.
You cook that squirrel right, it's good.
Right. Because some of them come from the country, honey, and they
Uh-huh.
was eating squirrel soup. JD Vance will tell you about that. He one of them. Okay. That
Uh-huh.
was eating squirrel. What's the name of his book? Hillbilly Elegy or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah. And what do hillbillies eat? Squirrel soup,
Possum, all that stuff.
possum, all of that. Granny was in there cooking everything on the Beverly Hillbillies.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah. And that's what the problem is.
Right.
For the second time in 2 weeks, the Justice Department has targeted a political enemy of President Trump's.
Yeah, and to get this indictment, there's quite a kerfuffle about it. New York Attorney General Letitia James is now indicted, facing a bank fraud charge.
Yeah, I mean, President Trump called for the Justice Department to act after James brought a $500 million civil fraud case against him and his family. Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel live right outside of James's office in Lower Manhattan with more. Jaysha.
Charlene, Sandra, Sam, good morning. Well, this indictment comes weeks after President Trump posted on social media calling for Attorney General Pam Bondi to bring these charges against James. And now James is denying these charges. New York Attorney General Letitia James firing back after she was indicted on charges of alleged bank fraud, becoming the second Trump political opponent in a span of 2 weeks to face prosecution.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system.
James has been a target of the president since she brought a $500 million civil fraud case against Trump and his family.
I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence, not politics. Judges have upheld the trial court's finding that Donald Trump, his company, and his 2 sons are liable for fraud.
The president's hand-picked U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Lindsay Halligan, presenting the case to the grand jury just 3 weeks after Trump forced out her predecessor, Eric Siebert. Siebert and his prosecutors spent months looking into properties James owns, interviewing at least 15 people searching for evidence she committed mortgage fraud. But sources say they determined there was not enough evidence to bring charges. President Trump insisting otherwise.
It looks to me like she's very guilty of something.
The indictment of James comes after a grand jury in Virginia also indicted former FBI Director James Comey, another political opponent Trump has publicly identified for targeting. Comey pleaded not guilty on Wednesday. Now experts warn there could be more charges coming.
Seems that this is definitely just the beginning. The Department of Justice seems that it has been weaponized now.
And James has been ordered to appear in court later this month on October 24th. Live in Lower Manhattan, Jaysha Patel, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
As we come on the air.
I don't think he has snowball's chance in Hades of them convicting her. I don't even know if it's going to really go to court.
No, because one of the reasons why it's probably not going to make it to court because the attorney that's bringing the charges against Trump, I mean against Letitia,
Uh-huh.
well, she's not really qualified to bring those charges. She's
Right.
illegally appointed. And
Mm-hmm.
I say she's illegally appointed because he's already had an acting prosecutor in that district, and that person has already served 120 days. So and that's why I say that's why I talk about the incompetence of the administration. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to go after people, you need to dot your I's and cross your T's. I'm not even a lawyer. I'm just a spectator that watch news and try
Uh-huh.
to keep up with politics. But according to the news, both cases may be thrown out because the lady is not even really legally she shouldn't even be bringing the case on because he have to appoint he have to have a federal prosecutor that's already hired, that's in position, and he just brought her on board what, a month ago. The lady
He,
that's bringing the case haven't even been in office long. They say she haven't even did a court case.
yeah,
Okay,
she's never prosecuted a case.
never
She was
prosecuted
an
in a court
insurance
case.
attorney.
Yeah.
She was an insurance attorney. She was on his legal team.
Hmm.
And he
And at
hires all of these incompetent
incompetent
people.
people. Yeah. And then, the reason number two is the reason why they're going to bring it. It's not going to be enough evidence. The first prosecutor, um, the first agent said that they didn't have enough evidence. So what evidence was she's going to bring to the to the forefront anyway? But once
Right.
again, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all theater. And if he can make her jump through these hoops, like you said, it's a possibility that it could be a settlement or try to get some type of deal out of it, or just
Mm-hmm.
do it just to to make it look like you're guilty, because like in America you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but a
Right.
lot of times when you get indicted or you get charged with some, people automatically think you're guilty anyway, whether
Uh-huh.
you get charged guilty or not guilty.
Right. It's
So
crazy that people will feel that way, but with him and 34 counts convicted of 34 counts, you still have these nut jobs out here talking about, it was all political and he didn't do anything wrong, and
yeah,
it's crazy.
when it comes to him, it's all
Hmm.
politically motivated, and they're just after him. But when it's anybody else, oh, they're guilty until proven innocent.
Right. But I'm still mad at Merrick Garland because he could have filed charges against Trump earlier, and we probably wouldn't even be here if he had done the right thing.
Well, you got to be mad at Joe Biden also, because although they don't want to appear that they got a hand in the Justice Department, they got a hand in the Justice Department.
I don't know. I didn't see any evidence that Joe Biden um, interfered in any way. I didn't see any of that. Um,
You think
just
he's you
I
think
just
he solely left that up to Merrick Garland?
I think so. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I
I
could be
mean,
wrong,
well,
but
they don't want to show the appearance of impropriety, but no, I don't believe it.
I think that if Joe Biden had so much pull or influence on the Justice Department, I think his son would have never
Uh-uh.
gotten indicted and gone to trial.
Well, I don't think well, see, you got to understand the not that you don't understand, let me just not say that. I feel like Joe Biden allowed his son to get indicted and go through those hoops or whatever, so it can make it look like he don't have his thumb on the scale. But in actuality, I feel like his thumb was on the scale and he told them not to indict Trump, because he didn't want it to make it. He didn't want it to look like it was political, like he was going after his political people. You know,
Yeah,
want to make
I
it look.
disagree.
Wanted to make it
Yeah,
look like it was politically motivated. So he had Merlin Garland, and plus,
I
he's a
disagree.
president. He's a president,
Yeah,
and you
but
actually can't indict. Or I mean, you can indict a president, but then that just meant the next president was going to have to pardon him, like they did Nixon.
well, the reason why I disagree is because Merrick Garland, I think, even though I think Mitch McConnell was wrong for not allowing Obama to select the Supreme Court justice. I think Merrick Garland would not have been a good Supreme Court justice. Merrick Garland is really a Republican, and I think that eventually he would have gone along with the majority. Um, and I think even though he might appear to be apolitical, I don't see it. So I think that it was more on Merrick Garland than Joe Biden. That's just how I see it.
Hmm. And you could be right, but I also feel like Joe Biden probably told him don't go after him. I whole honestly feel that way also. I just feel like Joe Biden didn't want to make it look like he was going after his political adversaries. I just, because the Democrats are always about how it look. They real sticklers about not looking a certain way when they actually are a certain way in so many ways. But they,
Mhm.
they always want to look like they're the good guy. They want to look like they're, dotting the I's and crossing all the T's. And so that's why I feel like he probably told Trump. I mean, he told Merrick Garland not to go after Trump. And he also knew the backlash that he was going to get. Because look at the backlash after Merrick Garland finally decided to try to charge him when it was way too late after the midnight hour, way, way too late to do
Mhm.
anything about it. You see the backlash that they got. And I feel like that's what Joe Biden, I think he didn't want Trump to dominate his presidency. And I think he didn't want that case to dominate his presidency. It's the way I feel about it.
Okay. Well, we can agree to disagree.
Okay. Because we definitely disagree.
What Precious said. So Precious said that Biden could have prevented this. So I guess she agrees with you.
Yeah.
She said that I feel Biden heard rumbles of this happening, but he had to let his son go through that. The Democrats care about appearance.
Yeah.
Okay, that's y'all's opinion, and we're all entitled to our opinion.
Yeah, that's definitely me and Precious' opinion.
And it's
Yeah.
okay to, not
And, and,
agree on
and, and
everything.
also, too, Alice, two things could be true at once. We both could be right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I don't see how we both could be right, because you said you don't feel like he had it. He put his thumb on the scale, and me and Precious feel like he did. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wholeheartedly believe that. Yeah, because, it's all about the optics. And Joe Biden was already being, really the whole 8 years that Trump has been on the scene, he's never left the spotlight. And I just feel like Joe Biden didn't want him to overshadow his spotlight.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you and Precious feel. That's how
Yeah,
y'all.
that's how we feel about it, child. That's our story, and we sticking to it.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
I'm sticking to mine too.
And it's all good. It's okay. It's okay.
Precious want to remind you that it is my birthday month, so
Uh-huh.
um,
And
you want to lean with it. What I've said, you can lean with it.
well, Precious, you see what my YouTube name is too. Okay, sweetie. You see, I said what I said.
So, So we're gonna talk about Comey now.
Yeah, we can talk about Comey. You can bring us
SDK, let me know if you still want to come up. The link is pinned.
That's Precious saying that's all, folks. It sure is, Precious. That's the final word, Precious.
It's okay. Y'all wrong, but it's okay.
And federal prosecutors in James Comey's criminal case are suggesting they may move to disqualify the former FBI director's lead attorney. In the new filing, prosecutors say Patrick Fitzgerald may have a conflict of interest that would warrant his removal. ABC News Justice Department reporter Alex Mallon has more on that story. So, Alex, what are you learning about this possible conflict of interest?
Yeah, so Comey's attorney is Patrick Fitzgerald. He's a high-powered, white-collar defense attorney, also a former top DOJ official. He brought some really high-profile prosecutions. But prosecutors are essentially alleging in this filing that he was involved in what happened in 2017 after James Comey was fired by President Trump, in which Comey relayed a series of memos about his interactions with Trump to several reporters, including at the New York Times. They say that because Fitzgerald was involved with that, he should be conflicted out of serving as Comey's lead defense attorney in this case, which involves Comey's alleged lies to the Senate Judiciary Committee in 2020 about a different set of disclosures that he gave to a professor named Daniel Richman. It's kind of complicated, but they say because these disclosures to Fitzgerald took place around the same time as his alleged disclosures to Richman, that should warrant him being removed from the case. I expect, that we'll see Fitzgerald respond to this. This is about a request to the judge overseeing Comey's case to make available a subset of evidence that's currently under quarantine because it involves Comey's interactions with several of his attorneys. And Comey's attorneys have been really critical of the government by bringing this issue up because they say that this is something that should have been done well before they brought this indictment, and they relate this to their overall concerns about this case being brought in a very rushed manner, again, by President Trump's handpicked U.S. attorney to lead that office, Lindsay Halligan.
Fitzgerald's expected to make a series of filings today. What can we expect there?
Yeah, we expect at least two different motions to dismiss Comey's case. One is going to be in the form of what's called a vindictive prosecution memo. They're going to say, and they previewed this previously in court, that the Comey case entirely was brought at the orders of President Trump. They're going to point to that Truth Social post by President Trump urging Attorney General Pam Bondi to act now to bring prosecutions against Comey and two other political enemies. And they're going to point to the pattern of conduct that we saw leading up to this indictment, where President Trump removed Eric Siebert, his previous handpicked attorney to lead the Eastern District of Virginia. He then installed Lindsay Halligan, and over the objections of career prosecutors in that office, she moved within 4 days of her appointment to bring that indictment against Comey. And she only was able to get 2 out of the 3 counts that she sought from the grand jury. And a separate motion that we expect is going to challenge the appointment of Lindsay Halligan entirely. They're going to say that her installation at the top of that office was unlawful. It circumvented law. They're going to point to what we expect will be an OLC opinion that was drafted actually by Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito in the 1980s. It's going to be a really fascinating fight. That actually is going to take place, we understand, before a different federal judge. The judge in this case at a hearing earlier last month said that would have to be considered in a separate manner. So they're really going to take, a different set of attacks trying to get this case tossed out before it even goes to trial.
All right, Alex Mallon, thank you. Let's
This is a hot mess, ain't it?
It is.
Is anybody attorney qualified to bring this case?
But they had one prosecutor who declined to bring it, saying that it wasn't a good case. And then they said that Lindsay Halligan, they illegally appointed her, and then there's a statute of limitation, and I think she filed the charges with the grand jury like the day before the statute of limitations was up. But I really think it's going to be thrown out.
Well,
So Precious said,
they're trying to get Comey's attorney thrown out too. So that's what I'm saying. Is any of these attorneys legally and
well, I think they have a point. They have a good point. Comey's attorneys. They have a good point because he always had that attorney. So why would they wait until after they in so-called indicted him to bring it up about his attorney?
mm-hmm.
So it's just a mess. I think that
It's
I
all
don't think it's
theatrics.
going anywhere.
It's
Yeah,
all
I don't
smoke
think
and
it's going
mirrors and
anywhere.
theatrics. Like I said before, it's the appearance of looking guilty is what he care
Mm-hmm.
about.
Mm-hmm. So Precious said Mr. Kitten Hills is really on a witch hunt. Even Stevie Wonder can see this. Abril said, I don't know if I'm more angry and frustrated with Donna, your president, or the folks that voted for him and want to cry now. You are both, because Miss Kitten Hills is just on a witch hunt on everyone and everything that doesn't agree with him. This is
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yeah. And so, even with Letitia James, well, she looked like she guilty of something, but what?
You know why they say she looks like she's guilty of something?
Why?
Because she's black.
Exactly. And it's one thing that he is afraid of, and that's powerful black women.
Uh-huh.
And he definitely trying to bring down all the powerful black women. He don't want to see no black woman in charge of nothing.
Right.
And whatever he can do to make them, to disqualify them, then that's what he'll do. He's even trying to come after Jasmine Crockett at this point.
Oh yeah. Oh, he can't stand Jasmine.
Yeah, because he don't like black women. He don't like strong,
Uh-huh.
powerful black women because he know black women gonna run
Right.
their mouth. They're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be afraid of him in his threats, his idle threats, and his goons or whatever else he try to bring, against them.
Right.
Hey,
Hey there, my
SBK.
peer.
Hey, SBK, what's going on?
Well, hello, my peer. Hello, Queen. I said what I said. How you ladies doing this afternoon or this evening?
We're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great.
This evening, can't complain.
I
Ain't
hear
no
you.
need of complaining.
Even though we complaining right now, but
Even
We
though we're
complaining,
complaining right now,
but we not. We complaining. We complaining about your president, but we're not complaining about what's
don't
going
yeah,
put,
on with
yeah,
us.
hey,
we
don't put
complain
that
about
fool
our
on me.
everyday life. Our everyday life is LG. Life is good.
LG, everything LG. Okay, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
So I think people, they seem to forget with James Comey, Andrew McCabe, all these dudes are Republicans that he's indicting. Am I correct? Um, they both were FBI, but their party's Republicans. So this dude, I just think this dude does not care whether or not you're Republican or Democrat.
Uh-uh.
If you're not loyal to him, I mean, you have no future in his eyes. But
Right.
I just don't think nothing will come out of this. But I just think that some people just seem to forget he has no loyalty to anybody.
Nope.
So, he's fired. His first term, man, he basically fired just about all of his major cabinet folks. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
I just don't think he has no loyalty. He's uncouth. It's really pretty self-evident that he's self-sabotaging himself.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't have any loyalty. As long as you um do what he wants you to do and say what he wants you to say, then you're okay. But if you're a Republican and you go against him, he'll call you a rhino, Republican in name only. So that's how he is. He's upset with Thomas Massey right now
Yep.
for trying to get the Epstein files released. So he's calling him a rhino.
So what do y'all think about this? We're talking about James. Everybody knew that when he got into his second term, he was going to be going after his political opponents and trying to, everybody that went against him to get him impeached for the second time, he's going to come after him. So now the Epstein file thing, do y'all ladies think that anything's going to come out on this, or they're going to be released, or how do y'all think that's going to take? Go ahead.
I think eventually it's going to be released. I think they are trying their best to delay the process. They have 217 votes so far to release the Epstein files. The Adelita Grijalda, I think I'm pronouncing her name right. She would be 218, so that's why they're stalling to swear her in, because I think what they're trying to do is convince one of the 4 Republicans that signed on to take their name off of it, and that's why they're trying to drag it on. But I don't think it's going to work.
No, because too many people interested in it, and even some of the Republicans wanted. They want to see the files, and
Right.
I don't feel like this is where I feel this, because even if they release the files, it's gonna be so redacted, you're not gonna be able to get much out of it, in my opinion.
So you think it's go ahead?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I feel like it's gonna be so much redacted to you're not gonna be able to make sense out of it. It's just like anything else. Like, remember when Bob, what's his last name? Mueller. What's his name? Mueller. When he did the
Robert Mueller.
Robert Mueller. Yeah, when he did the report, remember everything was so redacted, so you really didn't get that much information. And the Epstein files will be the same way. And I also feel like a lot of these events that happen, that's been happening, it's a lot of it to try to try to deter the public from even being interested in the Epstein files, including the last unalivement of somebody. Okay, I personally, myself, personally feel like that that was part of, that was a whole setup to try to change the news cycle.
Right.
And I think Homeboy was sacrificed for that reason.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I can see that happening.
Because this dude don't have no morals and values. He's not loyal to anybody, and he'll do any and everything to make himself look like he's the big, strong, powerful man. And so I just feel like a lot of the latest events and them not swearing her in, it's just a procrastination. But you got the Freedom Caucus that ain't buying it. And that's probably who's on board with releasing the files. More than likely, it's the Freedom Caucus, because that's always going to be the thorn in their side.
Right.
Okay, I got another question.
I agree.
Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Alice. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying I agree.
Okay, since we're on the files, I want to ask y'all something else. Marjorie Taylor Greene is leading the charge in releasing the files. And so now she's almost like public enemy number 1. Her and Trump are not seeing eye to eye. Even her and Trump are not seeing eye to eye when it comes to political matters. You know what I mean? So she's basically leading the charge in releasing the Epstein files. Did y'all see where she had, I guess, the victims of Epstein had a press conference, had them behind her, saying that, whoever's political needs to be exposed and all that. So I think she's a thorn in Trump's side for some reason. So all of a sudden she's speaking out against him. And basically last thing I heard, she said, well, he got my number. If he got, he's got my number. He knows what, if he, to call me if he's got a problem or something like that. So what do y'all feel about her being the strong and really right-wing Republican woman that's basically going against the grain on this Epstein thing?
Well, I don't trust Marge. She's a flip flopper as well. She'll say one thing and then another time she'll say another. I think she's still a Trump supporter, and I think Trump hasn't spoken out against her because he knows that she still supports him. Um, and I think that a lot of times when she says something um, that goes against whatever Trump is saying, it's because it benefits her. So I don't trust her at all. Not one bit. I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. You have anything to add? I said what I said.
Well, yeah, I concur. I don't trust her either. What you laughing for, SPK?
Just the way you well, yeah.
Well, yeah, sure I do. But she's trying to run for president. I just seen an interview, and
I
she
saw
kind of,
that.
yeah. So she kind of alluded to, well, the interviewer alluded to that she may be trying to run for president, and she
Hmm.
didn't say nothing about it. So I think she thinks she got a shot, child, at trying to be the president. And all of these Republicans and Democrats too, in so many words, anybody that's in office will say any and everything they can in order to get elected. Because I've seen Democrats flip flop also. Start out one way, and then they'll say that they changed their mind, or they had to. How do they put it? They had to come to the conclusion that they may have been wrong, and they see things a different way. However they put the lie. I just feel like any politician will say any and everything to get elected. I wholeheartedly don't trust anything that Marjorie Taylor Greene or the Republicans say. I halfway trust what the Democrats say. And but one thing about the Democrats, even though they do what they do, they always still try to have at least they have a little bit of the public's interest at heart. And some of the things that they implement actually do help the American public. And they do seem like they want America to move forward to a better America versus trying to keep it as is with the energy and it's like they want to go into the future, and the Republicans don't want to change. They want to stay. They want to keep everything the same, and life can't be the same. In your own life, you start out one way, you end up a whole totally different way because life is always evolving. You have so much technology that come out, and it seems like the Republicans want to stay in the Stone Age, in my opinion. But as far
Hmm.
as Marjorie Taylor Greene go, I don't trust a word that she say. She'll never get elected because she's already put too much QAnon conspiracy theories out there, and she's already made herself look real ignorant.
Uh-huh.
What is it? Idiotic. She's already did
Hmm.
too many idiotic, ignorant things, and so she's already been labeled as buffoonery. So no
Yeah.
one would actually take her serious. She barely can get elected in her district. She can't even be elected as a senator in her own state, in my humble
Right.
opinion. So
Right.
she can flip flop and say what she say or do what she do because it's all because she has an agenda.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And as you guys are gonna see as more time go by, especially after the midterms, a lot of them you're gonna see a lot of changes in a lot of them because they know this guy's gonna be on his way out because he's gonna become more unhinged and allegedly, and in my opinion, he's gonna continue to do more unhinged things, and it's going to get to a point where they're not going to be able to hold him up. Right now, it's very hard to defend anything that he does, and it's not going to get any easier. So that's what I think, SPK.
Yeah. I tend to agree with what you're saying. This what is it? Bleach blonde, bad built, butch body woman.
Mm,
She's not going to be
nothing.
No,
She
she
do good
definitely
to
won't
get
be
even
president.
elected. Yeah, she'll do good to be even elected in the second term. And the whole
Yeah.
thing about it too, I wholeheartedly feel like the Democrats are going to take the House next year, and so a lot of this buffoonery is gonna tamp down anyway. He's not going to be able to have the power, um, that he holds right now, especially when he's not going to have a House. He may still have a Senate, but he definitely not going to have a House, and everything has to go through the House in order to even get to the Senate.
But we'll see if he's still around.
I just think y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but it just seems to me that the Democrats, the Republicans stick together on everything. They are lock and step. But you got Democrats that some are dogmatic, and then some are just they kowtow to the Republicans, and that's just a sign of weakness to me, man. And so, just as much as the Republicans, they stand together, and they don't care whether it's politically correct or not. You know what I mean? That they stand together. It just seems that, like you said, I said what I said earlier about the Democrats wanting to always be politically correct. They want to do things. Uh, you do things by the book, but man, stand on what you believe in. Mean what you say. You know, it's just that that's the reason why they don't like Jasmine Crockett. You know what I mean? It's not because she's ghetto or none of that nonsense. It's because she's effective. You know what I mean? I was listening to Roland Martin, and they did a poll of Jasmine Crockett's approval rating. They said it was Obama-like. So her approval rating, as far as what she does in Congress, she's very popular. It's just that the media is trying to portray her as something that she's absolutely not.
Right.
But she is effective, and that's the reason being ghetto, being and all that type of stuff. That's all nonsense. It's because that lady is effective. She knows how to get things done, and so and what kills me is that you got people like Stephen A. Smith and all these other black folks or whatever that's sitting there putting this woman down. You know what I'm saying? It's always all skin folk ain't kin folk. You know what I mean? And so you got
Right.
dudes like that are putting out nonsense and BS with her. Well, she needs to not speak like that. Well, man, nobody's trying to hear you, Stephen A. And all the rest
Right.
of I'm trying to be nice, Miss Alice. I'm going to be nice. The rest of
Okay.
these old these coon dudes or whatever and women that are going against their own kind.
Right. Yeah, Stephen A needs to go somewhere and have several seats. He's talking the president should be held to a higher standard than anybody else. And um, he can't even say anything about the president and the way he's acting. I mean, this man behaves like I think my 3-year-old grandson is more mature than this man. And he has the audacity, the mitigating gall to say something about a black queen that is standing up for people. And she's not just standing up for black people or black women, she's standing up for everybody. And this Negro is trying to put her down while lifting up a felon, 34 count felon, who says and does anything he feels like he wants to do. So Stephen A needs to hush, go somewhere and find several seats and have a seat, and we don't need to hear from him anymore. That's how I feel.
Well, I feel like Stephen A. trying to keep his job is what I feel, and he'll say and do anything. He's just like the Republicans. He put that mess out there, and he know it's not true, and he know he really don't feel that way about people. But I think he does. I think he put that garbage out there like that so that he can keep his job, so he can say yes sir and no sir, and yes sir, I believe with you, and just keep me with my paycheck. And that's
Yes, the
basically
boss.
what, yeah, it's all about his coins and all about trying to stay in his position of where he is. He do realize that it really is, in my opinion, and allegedly to me, it's a war on black people, whether you man or woman. And it's like he's trying to eliminate us for whatever reason, get rid of the immigrants for whatever reason, and make it their world, and not and nobody else belongs, and nobody else is that important. And just like Byron Donalds and Tim Scott had the FAFO, you don't hear a word from them no more. Even Byron Donalds is not running for Congress because he think he gonna be the governor of Florida. And I got some news
Yeah.
for him. Partner, that ain't happening.
Keep
That's not,
hope
yeah,
alive.
keep
Keep
hope
hope
alive,
alive,
dog.
Byron.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep hope alive, sir, because that's not happening. And so, like you said, SBK, they sell their souls. Um, for only for their own personal gain and use. And the Democratic Party need to take some notes from Jasmine Crockett, because the people are tired. And it ain't just the Democratic Party, really. People in America that's concerned about America and our rights and our Constitution, a lot of people want to see the fight from the Democrats. And the Democrats seem like they're kids. They act like they don't know how to put their dukes up. And even Gavin Newsom said, I know this is not right, when he said he was going to, get 5 more seats, and he was going to do gerrymandering just like Texas is. Because in some instances, if you can't beat them, then you have to join them and see if you can,
Yeah.
beat them at their own game. And he
Right.
said it was a temporary thing. He wasn't going to do it. He had the public to vote for it. And he said that this is a one-time deal. He's not going to, he's not going to do that, every year on the year. Now, even North Carolina trying to add an extra seat. So they all falling in line. You're absolutely right, SBK.
Right.
Whatever one do, all of them fall in line and do it. And now we need all of the Democratic states to fall in line and add extra seats on. And all I've seen so far is California doing it. Alice, is it any other state that that's adding on seats? What about Illinois and New
Um,
York? I can't remember if those two are trying to add seats on or not.
I know that Wes Moore said that he would consider. Now in Maryland they only have one Republican district, so I don't know if that would work in Maryland. I don't know about any other states, so I don't know what they're doing,
I know New
but I
York
know they
needs.
need to do something.
Yeah, New York needs to get on it. Illinois needs to get on it. Yeah, they need to get on that. But to speak on about Byron Donalds, I love the way that Jasmine Crockett, uh, how she
Oh,
got him. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Here's a guy that's not even American born, not even from America. You come
No,
over here.
he was born in America.
Was he? Was he? Okay.
Now his parents are immigrants, but he
Okay.
was
So
born
his
in
parents
America.
are immigrants. Gotcha.
Hmm.
Well, the way he had a troubled young past or whatever, he wants to take rights and stuff like that away from young people that might have had misfortune come on them, go to jail and so forth
Hmm.
and so on. And so I love the way she read him. You know, dude is just is a flat out man, just a sellout. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
These guys like him and Stephen A. Smith, they sicken me, ladies, because of the fact that they forget where they come from.
Yeah.
They get laced with this money. They get this prestige, and everybody, the spotlight is on them, and they forget where they come from.
Yeah.
And so that's what really, really upsets me about some of our people that do that. Whether you are Democrat or Republican, now look, I swear, if a guy or a woman was a Republican and you did not put down your people or try to take away some of the rights that you came up on, I would respect you a little bit more. But I don't understand why some of these right-wing black folks, they sit there, man, and they forget where they come from. You know what I mean? I just don't understand that at all, ladies.
Yeah, like Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas is another example. He went up the ladder and he um, knocked it down so nobody else can come up that ladder.
Exactly. Now that's who they need to rein in is the Supreme Court because they all
Uh-huh.
out of line. They all filling up their pockets. They're all out of line, and they're all doing nefarious things, And so, um, because they're the Supreme Court, nobody says anything to them. They just letting them
Right.
get away with whatever they want to get away with. And that's like I can't say this enough. Joe Biden should have did something about that. He had
I
the House
agree.
and the Senate the first 2 years. He could have got that done. And just like SBK say, the Republicans stick together. Change the rules in the Senate. That's what you're there for to make things go your way
Oh,
because the Republicans
Joe, he
definitely.
should have. Yeah, that I think once again that comes up to when he got in.
Hmm.
Uh, he he was pressured about packing the
Right.
Supreme Court, and he felt pressure. Well, they would ask him about it, and he would dance around it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just do it.
Just
You
do
know what I
it
mean?
like the Republicans didn't Mitch McConnell push his
Yep.
Supreme Court nominee in the
Sure did.
last minute, in the last hour?
Yep.
Sure did.
Okay,
Yep.
like you said, the Republicans do what they want to do, and the Democrats think that they got to follow every rule and regulation. And another thing I'm upset about with the Democrats, get some of these old people out of office,
I was
because
going
if
to
you
say
get some
that.
people in there, that's young people they like to fight. Okay. And so you'll get some young people in there that's ready to bring the fight to them. And I just think some of these guys are too old. They just like that power and they're power hungry. And I really wish they would put an age limit on all of it.
Yeah, I think because Joe Biden was in government so long, a lot of older people uh, they don't like too much change. And so what they did back when he first became senator and how they compromised and which is another reason why Clarence Thomas got in the Supreme Court, because they compromised, and I guess it more so worked for them. But it is time for a new generation. These older people need to go home and play with the grandkids, go to the baseball, basketball, football games, enjoy the time they have left with their grandkids. If they don't have any children or grandchildren, they can enjoy these games with their nieces and nephews or their neighbors' grandkids or whatever. But what they do need to do is they need to step down, know that their time has come and gone, and allow these younger people to come in and do what America needs for the whole country.
Right. And Alice, baby Alice covered it all. She said, you ain't got no family, go with your neighbors. Hang out with your neighbors, go to the barbecue or whatever.
Yeah.
So she made sure she covered everybody, baby. So you ain't gonna have no way out with Alice. She gonna give you a way. But at the end, but at the end of the day, though, you're absolutely right. I think they ought to have term limits, and you shouldn't be, dying in office. That's just crazy and ludicrous to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And,
looking
and,
at
and
Mitch,
like Chuck Grassley, what is he, 89,
He,
90 years
no,
old?
he's at least 90. He's the
Yeah,
oldest senator in office.
yeah. And why? And
That's what I need to know.
Mitch McConnell falling out every five
I was just
minutes.
going to say that.
Yeah.
That should be an indication right there that, bruh, you need to go to the house and sit down somewhere.
Yeah, you done
You
did
know
all
what I
the
mean?
damage you could to the America. You shaped America just like you wanted it. You got your Supreme Court. You got all your
Mm-hmm.
federal judges. You got all your pieces in place, Mr. Chess Player. So go home and play chess with your wife now, or with your grandkids, like Alice said, or your neighbors.
Well, that fool said, he said, we gave you a black president. What else do you want? Basically, that's what he said, Mitch McConnell.
Exactly. Yeah, but we didn't let him do nothing.
I'm like, man,
And it's just taking them out that this Obamacare became popular. They just, the one thing that Obama has a legacy on, they want to tear that down also, and they can't. It's not going to work because he's so smart, and they can't even take it out of the system, and the people done got so used to it at this point, and they doing everything they can to hollow it out. But every time, even Trump, the first year, oh, we getting rid of Obamacare, we getting rid of Obamacare. He ain't hollering he gonna get rid of Obamacare now. So he know he can't really get rid of it. So now he want to hollow it out or make it so expensive where you can't afford
Uh-huh.
Obamacare. Because you
Uh-huh.
notice he ain't hollering that he want to get rid of it now.
Right. Remember when he had that big binder? I forgot who was interviewing him, and he had a big binder, and it was nothing but blank pages talking about that was his health care plan. You remember that?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that lady. Oh, it's so big, whatever.
And it's been several times. He's just been sitting at that desk with fake papers on his desk, like he really working, and he ain't doing nothing.
Right.
He just got off of social media, off of Truth Social, just out of the mirror checking his tan, and then he'll go sit at that little small desk and act like he doing some executive orders.
Obviously, something's wrong with that mirror because that makeup is not it's not right.
Yeah, makeup ain't makeup in you.
And he's the first to call somebody, talk about somebody's looks and stuff.
Yes.
Right.
Man, that dude needs to sit down somewhere.
Right. Sit down, clown. Because that's exactly what you look like. It's a straight up clown, in my opinion.
Y'all see that picture with him coming from outside playing golf with his pants pulled all the way up to his damn chest? Whatever.
Now, did you see the video he showed on social media this weekend, where he was flying in a plane and had fake poop?
Oh yeah, the AI thing. They think that's okay for president. Yeah, Precious, that toupee ain't right.
No, he need to go on back down to the beauty supply store and get him another wig. I don't know. He already done cleaned out some of the wigs where the sisters can't hardly get theirs, but he need to go back and regroup again and get him some more wigs.
Precious said he need a quick weave.
A sew in or something.
A good sew in.
A lace front or something. I think he need a lace front, Precious.
No, I think he just needs to cut that mess off that's left and just, let it be how it's gonna be.
Now, Alice, you know how them men are. They be trying to hang on, child.
Yeah. But he need to let go.
Yeah, he needs to let it go, man.
Uh-huh.
He needs to let it go.
All right, Alice. Well, I got our last clip in if you ready, whenever you're ready to play it.
Let me go ahead and put this on.
But specifically, one person is not working, and I want to talk to you about this because Speaker Mike Johnson continues to defend his decision not to swear in Democratic Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva of Arizona following her special election victory nearly a month ago. The Republican speaker was pressed about it once again over the weekend.
When are you going to swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva?
As soon as we get back to legislative session when Chuck Schumer allows us to turn the lights back on.
Why haven't you done it already?
Because this is the way the institution works. I'm following the Pelosi precedent, by the way, when my dear friend from Louisiana, Julia Letlow, was elected to fill the seat of her deceased husband because of COVID. Nancy Pelosi took 25 days to swear her in. By the way,
are you saying? Let me stop you. Are you saying that Nancy Pelosi refused to swear her in earlier?
No, I'm saying that's my very point. Is this is the normal
my
process.
understanding is that was the date that actually the representative-elect Letlow at the time requested. She had obviously her.
Okay, here's some more examples. Okay.
No, but wait a minute. You mentioned the Pelosi precedent, but Pelosi didn't delay that.
Let me give you more than Pelosi precedent. Okay.
And what about the Johnson precedent? Because you swore in 2 Republicans the day after their election.
I'm happy to answer. Pelosi precedent. Pat Ryan, Joe Simpolinski. They were elected during an August recess. So 21 days later, when the House returned to regular legislative session, they were administered the oath. That's what we're doing. We're not in session right now. Rep. Grijalva was elected after the House was out of session. As soon as we return to legislative session, as soon as the Democrats decide to turn the lights back on so we can all get back here, I will administer the oath on the first day.
You could swear her in tomorrow, right?
No, not tomorrow. No, we couldn't. We wouldn't. There was an exception for 2 Floridians earlier in this Congress, but the reason was they were duly elected. They had a date set. They flew in all their friends friends and family, and the House went out of session.
So if she flies in friends and family, then
we don't have a date set.
We could set a date. Like literally, we could set a date at any point. I think all of these examples that he's giving don't actually track with the reality, which is why you have Congresswoman Grijalva saying the reason they're actually not swearing me in is because I'm the 218th signature on the discharge petition on the Epstein files. Is that your understanding? Like, are Republican sources actually getting uncomfortable with this at this point? Because if you're elected to Congress, you get sworn in.
I think a lot of folks are sort of wondering why Speaker Johnson doesn't just have the swearing in. Because look, we can get into wonky House procedure. I know we both like to.
Yeah.
If
we'll spare them at 5:30 in the morning.
If Grijalva is sworn, if Grijalva is sworn in and she signs that discharge petition, it's not like there would be a vote tomorrow in the House, right? The discharge petition has to do something called ripen. It has to a certain number of legislative days have to pass before we can actually see that vote. And hey, by the way, the House isn't even in session, so we're not even seeing those legislative days elapse. So it's sort of, I think I'm talking to some folks who sort of say it's a little curious because they just say, get on with it. There can stop being this news cycle and this point of questioning of why aren't you swearing in Grijalva? And also it wouldn't impact the Epstein files immediately. But Speaker, we've asked him, he's been very clear on that, and he's been holding his ground that she will not be sworn in until the House reopens.
And I think the difference when he brings up Pat Ryan getting elected before an August recess, okay, no one's trying to do business during the August recess, but there are a lot of lawmakers, including Republicans, who want to try to do business right now, and especially Congresswoman-elect Grijalva, who has been on Morning Joe, on other shows, pressing the idea that she's sitting in her office with a printer that her staffer brought so that they can try to do the business of representing their constituents. I think we're at a point now where I'm not sure where this ends, but it's getting more and more difficult for the Speaker to defend. MSN.
Okay. Even
Wow.
Marjorie Taylor Greene says she needs to be sworn in.
Yeah, do you see his face?
Yeah, he just lied. Because he called him in a lie. He called him in a lie. He said, well, he took 21 days. Yeah, because that's what the representative asked him to do. They asked him to wait 3 weeks before he be sworn in because he had something else going on in his personal life. But you just called Mike Johnson in a lie. He tried to put it like, well, they didn't swear him in, and try to make it look like that he's doing the same thing that the Democrats are. And Jonathan Carl said, no, he has to do that. So at the end of the day, they're nothing but a bunch of liars. Like I said, smoke and mirrors. That's who these people are.
Yeah. And Johnson, I think he's nervous. I think he's afraid that he's going to lose his job as Speaker.
And I feel like he will. And also, too, just to give you guys a heads up, she filed a lawsuit suing him to swear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was just going to say, was that put in motion? Because I know they were threatening to.
No, yeah, she filed.
Okay,
She filed.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
That's all smoke and mirrors. Y'all know what that is. Y'all know what time it is. You put her in the seat or whatever, that applies more pressure to and more votes to release those Epstein files and get things exposed. So
it's that one vote that they need, SBK. You heard what she said. They already got 217. They only need one vote, and she would be the 218th vote, and that's what he's trying to prevent.
Correct.
The 218 puts them as the majority because there are 435 representatives in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So the 218 makes it majority.
Right.
But I think they're trying to buy time.
Exactly.
Because they're hoping they can talk at least one of those Republicans into not going along with it.
Mike Johnson's a weakling. He's a weakling.
He is.
I don't see him being in there long. He's a weak man. He's a puppet. That's all there is to it.
Weasel.
Right. Has no backbone.
Not at all.
And they must have changed the rules because you remember when Kevin McCarthy just spit on the sidewalk the wrong way, they was able to get rid of him.
So they changed the rules. They changed the rules.
Yeah. So it'd have to be. It went back to the old rules where everybody, so many of them, will have to try to get rid of him.
Yeah, I forgot exactly how it goes, but they did change it. so that he wouldn't easily be
thrown out of
wouldn't easily get
lose his
thrown.
job.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anybody else that even would want it other than Jim Jordan, and I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know why he hiding. They brought up them
Oh,
kids in that college scandal, and he set his butt right on back down, honey. I ain't seen
well,
him since.
they've been talking about that, but he somehow you'll see him soon.
Yeah. And
He'll
I just want to throw this out there too, because I've been seeing in the news too yesterday in the news cycle. Um, a lot of people are saying that a lot of the Trump administration is going to be brought up on charges once he leave office. So they got to
Yeah,
be careful about what they do for him and what they don't do for him, because he has full immunity, but they don't.
yeah,
And
and
Mark
some of the
Meadows,
military guys too.
yeah, and
Whoever
Mark Meadows is
shoot.
going to be saved by the bail if they can get Fanny's case thrown out in Georgia, because that's what's gonna get Mark Meadows off the hook.
Mhm.
Because remember, Fanny got a case against him in Georgia. Also, the Georgia's legislation and Supreme Court is trying to stop her in all of her tracks. But if she ever, I think she just kind of putting it on ice until he get out of till he get out of office,
Mhm.
and maybe she'll be able to bring that case forward. But if they dismiss it, then that's gonna get Mark Meadows off the hook.
Yeah, but those people that pow those boats where they say that people were bringing illegal substances to
Yeah,
America,
yeah.
they're
War
gonna
crimes.
they're gonna be prosecuted.
Yeah. A lot of people gonna be prosecuted in this administration. And I don't know why they puffing out their chests and going to Congress and you know uh, not answering questions and getting smart with people, and thinking that they got immunity because
Uh-huh.
they're in these positions right now. And he gonna leave them. I hope they know he gonna leave all of them out to dry. He gonna leave them
Yeah,
all out to dry.
yeah, good for them.
A lot of them already jumping ship on him quietly. They're just playing
Yeah,
the role. You know,
right.
um,
And they better.
Yeah.
a lot of these social media pundits, Nick Fuentes, and
Yeah,
all these guys, man,
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, all these guys.
Even Steve Bannon is criticizing him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
So
like I said, I don't see him being around too much longer because being president ages you, and not that he's being presidential, but um, I see that he has dementia. That's what I believe from um, my experience of dealing with people who had dementia. He shows too many signs of it, and I believe that he's rapidly going downhill. So I can't tell you how long he's going to be here. I don't know all of that, but I just don't see him being around too much longer.
Well, he's already been MIA twice, where he's
Uh
missing.
huh.
Yeah, where he's been missing for days. He's got swollen ankles, black spots on his hands. And I take blood thinners, and I'm not bruised like that.
No, you don't shake a lot of hands.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't shake nobody's hand. My bad. My bad. My bad. Forgot about that, Alice.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. And in my opinion, he's had a couple of strokes that they ain't talking about.
Right. Well, you saw that picture that I have on my thumbnail.
Hmm.
You, you can't see, nobody can convince me that that's not
Yeah, and
it,
those visits to Walter Reed, all of those,
yeah.
impromptu visits to Walter Reed.
Yeah, Precious says he was at Walter Reed just the other day.
Uh,
I
but
think I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think COVID almost took him out.
Oh
It
yeah, he
did.
was huffing and puffing
Oh
when he was up
yeah.
on that stage trying to
Oh
act like he
yeah.
was a strong man. He was almost
Uh,
out. And remember, Mark
Yep.
Meadows
Yep.
panicked. Remember, Mark Meadows panicked. We don't know how much longer the
uh-huh.
president gonna be
Yep.
here. They
Yep.
all panicked because it did. It almost took him out.
Almost took him out. You know. So
And he
yeah.
better and he was the first one to go get a COVID vaccine. While him and RFK getting rid of vaccines, it's mighty funny. He went ahead and signed up for another what they call it in the shot, what they call it,
The booster. The
yeah, the
booster.
boot. Well, they call it something else though,
Oh,
when they put the shot in your arm.
okay. But yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
he was
think
the first one. He's the first old ninja I know to go up there this winter and get his COVID shot. Yeah, he even got cold yet. And he's the first one to sign up. Give me a shot.
And he was talking about he said he don't think he's gonna make it to heaven. He said he thinks that he's already he's gotten as close as he's gonna get to heaven by riding on Air Force One and stuff. And I kinda, I don't usually agree with what he says, but I don't see him going to heaven either. So but
Oh
we can't
heck
agree with
no, 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 no. They don't even know nothing about him in heaven. His name ain't on the roster nowhere. He
yeah.
probably ain't never been on the roster.
No, he's still trying to read 2 Corinthians. So yeah. Yep. So anything any
Oh,
final words, yeah.
Well, I hope your dream come true. I mean, I hope your prediction. I don't know if it's a dream or not, but but I
I was
hope your
gonna
prediction.
say,
Yeah, I don't know if you're dreaming about it
I
or
didn't
not.
say I dreamed that. No.
But
I'm just
everybody
saying I don't see it.
everybody in America need to pray.
I'm not I'm not gonna pray for that. I'm not
Pray
gonna
for that,
I'm
and
I'm
then
not gonna
ask
pray for
God,
that.
then ask the Lord to forgive you. And
This I'm
because you,
saying my prayer is, Lord, let your will be done.
hey, you get 7 times 77 chances, so you can go ahead and ask for that one and ask God to forgive you for praying for that. But on a serious note, everybody just get ready and stay ready. Yeah,
Yeah.
just stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and and just be prepared for whatever's gonna come down the pipeline because I don't feel like it's gonna get any better, and I'm gonna have to be like Agent Orange. You ain't gonna be able to buy your kids 7 Barbie dolls for Christmas because remember he said that your baby just gonna get 1 Barbie doll this year for Christmas. I'm gonna just throw that on out there if they got one on the shelf for you. And she ain't gonna get the van and the pool and the house and all that. So she might get a set of clothes and she gonna get Barbie, and your son gonna get a Tonka truck, and that's it. And that's all you're gonna be able to. It's gonna be a lot of stocking stuff in this year. Dollar store gonna blow up this year.
Yeah.
Because I feel like America finna have a dollar store Christmas is what I feel like. And that's okay. That's okay. Because think of all the things that you have, about your children in the past. And
Uh-huh.
so sometimes it's okay to go through a hard time because that's what makes you stronger. I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly feel like America, unfortunately, I feel like America we had to go through this. We have to go through this in order to take the blinders off of everybody's eyes
Uh-huh.
because America really was a big sore, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and homeboy just came and peeled the scab off of it. That's what he
Yeah.
did. And we needed that scab peeled off so that everybody, because at this point, welcome to our world. Everybody is able to see their world through everybody is able to see America through our eyes. They're getting the
Uh-huh.
same treatment that we've always gotten. They're understanding by and by how it feel to be a melanated person walking around in the good old United States of America. And hopefully, after this is over with, we will no longer have to have that conversation with our young boys and girls on how
Right.
to navigate through America. Hopefully, they can just navigate through America like everybody else do. And
Right.
thank you for allowing me to do this show with you, Alice. You know I love politics, so it was my good pleasure to come up here and
You're
talk about
welcome.
this with you.
Thank you. Hey, Joe.
And everybody have a great day. Look, and on a happy note, y'all have a great day. After all that doom and gloom, I want y'all to have a good night, okay?
Anything else, SBK?
I thank you for having this show. My final words is I just want to encourage people to study politics and basically know what you're getting yourself into. Just don't look at the television and look at what people say as gospel, as the truth. You got to get in there and you got to search for yourself, and you got to, it starts at home. It starts at your local political parties, at your local cities and stuff like that. That's where it starts at.
Right.
And so I encourage everybody to look at your city officials and so forth and see what they run on, see what they believe in, see who they endorse, the needs of your city and your city and your state. If you think that the needs and the people are not being cared for, then it starts right there in your city, in your town, in your state, and then you go branch out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to encourage people. And Joe is right. Early voting has begun here in Texas for the primaries,
Sure
and
has.
I'm ready for that. So I also want to encourage people to look at where to vote in your cities. You know what I mean? If you have primaries and so forth, go online and look where you can vote and go out and vote. Our people, black folks, need to understand that we can't keep this attitude as it. I can vote for, my vote doesn't matter. That's hogwash.
Right.
That's all hogwash. We need to get out of that. You know what I mean? People of color need to get out of that, and we need to educate ourselves when it comes to this. And we just all need to educate ourselves and just be proactive. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I like what I said. What I said. We're going through this as a country. Going through this should be a wake up call. You know what I mean? Should be a wake up
Absolutely.
call, and for people, especially young people need to educate themselves and understand that your ancestors fought for you to have the right to vote, for you to have the right as everybody else as a citizen to go out and voice, and you have a voice. So use it by getting out there and voting. So
That's right.
Right.
so I appreciate you having me up here. I said
You're
what I
welcome.
said. You know what time it is.
Right.
Alice, thank you.
I really don't know, SBK.
You're
What
welcome.
time is it?
It's about 7:30 here.
No, he said I know what time it is. I'm
I
trying to figure
know.
out what he talking about.
I know.
I respect you, Queen. You.
Well, say
Oh
it,
my
say it,
God.
say it with your chest puffed out.
But listen, if your vote didn't matter, they wouldn't fight so hard to suppress your vote.
Right.
Facts.
Right. And
Get
also
out.
too, I want to let y'all know I voted yesterday by default. I forgot all about early voting. And like Joe said, when you're doing early voting, all you got to do is show your ID, and you can vote any place that's doing the votes. You don't have to go to your precinct when you're doing early voting. That's the best way to vote. So you don't have to stand in line, and so that you don't have to worry about going to the right precinct, because it's very discouraging when you and that's one of the trickery rules that they're going to try to have with us voting this year, or any time in the future. That, oh, you in the wrong precinct. And so I remember when I was in the Metroplex one year, I had to go to 3 different places to vote for Obama, to put him in office. But baby, let me tell you, I drove to all 3 places until I found the right place. And so that's what, they want to discourage you. So
Uh-huh.
don't be discouraged at all. Whatever whatever trick they have up their sleeves, then go around it. Make sure you get your vote in, and make sure you read
Right.
the referendums, because like Joe said, and that's all we had. We didn't have anybody in the primaries for Texas. All I saw was a bunch of amendments that they were trying to get through. And they were very difficult to read, and they had a lot of word salad in them. So make sure you study before you vote, so you'll know what you're voting for.
Happy birthday to your aunt. Yeah, also in Virginia, I know they're voting for a governor and lieutenant governor, and I think they have early voting as well. And I know in California, they have that referendum on ballot for um, redistricting, because they want to counter what Texas did. So if y'all live in those states, make sure that you vote, and make sure you check for your state or where you live to make sure that it's not time to vote. So that's what I have to say about that. Joe says, I found my great grandmother's voter registration from 1956 showing my great grandfather had to pay for her registration and approve his wife to vote. Y'all see that? Y'all hear that?
Yep.
And now some of y'all would sit at home and talk about my vote doesn't count, or more so, I don't get into politics. Let me tell you something. Politics is going to affect you one way or the other. If you don't vote, you have no right to complain. And if you vote against your interests, you don't have any right to complain either. You need to take a real good look at what's going on. Do some research. No, you can't trust everybody, but if you have a relationship with God, ask Him to guide you into what you need to do, what's best, if that's what you need to do. But by all means, do not sit at home and complain and you didn't make an effort to get out and vote when you could have. There are some people who can't vote, and I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about those people who took the time to register to vote and they still decide to stay home. That is sad. It's kind of lazy, if you ask me. Unless you had an emergency where you couldn't get out and vote, I don't see any excuse. So please do what's best. And Joe is saying about how she said, I found my great grandmother's voter registration from 1956 showing my great grandfather had to pay for her registration and approve of his wife to vote. And we have people now talking about some make America great again. That's what they want to go back to. But you want to sit home and you don't want to get out and vote. You don't want to be a part of politics because you think everybody, they all the same. Well, don't say anything when it comes knocking at your door. I'm off of my little spiel, y'all.
Amen. Amen.
I concur. You off your soapbox now?
Yeah, I'm off. I'm off
okay.
Well,
it had to be said.
In other words, what Alice is saying is shut up and vote.
Yes.
Right. If you can go to the concert and to the fair and everywhere else, you can go to the voting poll.
Right.
There you go.
And make sure you got your real ID. That's what that was all about. Make sure you keep your ID updated because, like I said, they trying every little trick and scheme they can to keep you away from the voting polls.
Yeah. And the main ones who don't think their vote count, you're the main ones that need to vote because you're the main ones that they're trying to They want you to think that your vote doesn't count.
Especially y'all young people, because look at here. I had a good life when America was America. I could talk about the good old days, and you young people, I got more time behind me than I do in front of me. So if y'all want the good life like we had, y'all best believe y'all better make them down there to them voting polls, because that's what's gonna make the difference. To put all
Right.
jokes aside, that's what makes the difference. And like I said, it used to be nationally, it didn't matter too much, but now national is affecting your local
Uh-huh.
ordinances, and the way everybody falling in line. National is affecting local now, and so it's very important to make sure you let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
Alice, thank you for allowing me for coming to the panel today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you joining me, and thank you,
All right.
SBK, for coming up. I
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate both of y'all.
All right. And SBK, you know what time it is.
Oh, what time is it? What time is it?
It's 7:38 here.
We got love for you, SBK. So it was great having you on the panel. I'm
Yeah.
glad you came up and had this conversation with us.
My Libra peer.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. The hate not looking good on you, sis. The hate's not
I
looking
know.
good on you.
I'll be so glad when this Libra season over with, for real, for real. Because
Man,
y'all
oh
ride
man.
that till the wheels fall off, baby.
Man, the hate is real this month.
Boy,
the hate
is it?
Man. They won't let us be great, Alice. They won't let us be great.
What
Boy.
is wrong with the people?
Man, it's all right though. It's all right.
But yeah, I want to thank everybody who came real quick that I saw in the chat. Precious G, Tom C, Vaughn, Wanda, Mimi, SBK, Joe. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, y'all. But I appreciate all of y'all coming and participating in the chat, and make sure that you encourage others to get involved in the political process, because we all need to be involved. All right, with that said, check me out tomorrow on my main channel at 4 p.m. Eastern. Love y'all. Stay blessed. Vote.